I'm Zach McDowell, and here's my Module 4 assignment about understanding my community of Winfield High School. First is some customs and traditions here in Winfield, Kansas. It's a very family-style community and very diverse and unique for being a small town. Uh, some main attractions we have here in Winfield are the Cali County Fair, which bring in a lot of people in the county surrounding. It's a big agricultural event. As a carnival, brings in a lot of food trucks as well. Um, every weekend there's a farmers market at Island Park. Island Park's a really neat park that we have here in Winfield that also is the home to the Isle of Lights. The Isle of Lights and Walnut Valley Festival are two big events um, that are held here in Winfield that bring in a lot of attention from definitely people in the state, but also in the entire United States. The Isle of Lights is put up right after Thanksgiving and runs until the beginning of the new year, which all of these are run off of purely just donations from people in the community. The Walnut Valley Festival is a big, long event, usually lasts about 2 weeks when the people are actually here in town. It's one of the largest bluegrass festivals in the United States and over doubles our population of Winfield just from the event alone. And many small businesses in town rely heavily on this event taking place simply from the income that it brings in. Um, we do have strong connections with Southwestern College and Cali College, which are two local colleges here in Winfield. Homecoming parade goes downtown. It's really awesome. You can see in the picture just how Winfield kind of looks. Everything kind of is focused around Main Street and runs right into Island Park. Choir is another really big event here, an activity here in Winfield that's really big in our community. Just an example, over a third of our school population is involved in our choir program here at WHS. So population characteristics, WHS has students from 9th to 12th grade, has approximately 670 to 700 students, our sophomore class being the largest one with over 200 students. Our gender makeup is about 53% male, 47% female. Some of our biggest employers here in Winfield include Rubbermaid, GE, Creekstone Beef, and Galaxy Tool. We have about an 11 to 1 student to teacher ratio here at WHS, which is fairly low. Really good ratio for the state of Kansas. Our demographic makeup is about 70% white, 11% Hispanic, 10% identifying as multiracial, 5% Asian descent, and 4% Black. We also have, on top of that, diverse ranges of socioeconomic levels um, here in Winfield, anywhere from uh, millionaires to homeless, which really helps just kind of show how unique and diverse the small town of Winfield really is. Um, WHS and our school district also over 50% receive free or reduced lunches. Some communication channels that we use. We have a district and school website. On that district page, each school has their individual link on it as well. So it's kind of a one spot resource that is fitting to any parents in our community. Something we rely on heavily is Bright Arrow as a communication tool. This allows us to send an email, a text, and a phone call to each family with one click. So, kind of meeting their preferred communication needs just with one click is very convenient for us. We also use Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Every school in our community has one, and sports teams as well. Facebook is the most used out of all of those apps. We also use the Remind app specifically with our math departments for homework purposes. We are Google certified schools, so all of our schools use Google Classroom and is a tool for parents to use as well. Local radio station is 95.9 Bob FM. They do a good job of letting out any activities or events that are happening in our community and really do a great job with our sports teams as well. Our school groups each have their own school media accounts. Sports teams all use the Band app to communicate with their athletes and parents. And also just recently we started using YouTube to stream all of our athletic events, which is awesome because it's free of cost. Some community groups um, that we rely on here in Winfield, our Booster Club. Uh, they do a great job finding donations for us to use, and really without them, our activities and athletics, we couldn't survive without them. Our school board members, made up of 7 local members, each one of them has either has kids in school or has previously had their children go through our school district. We have a large amount of athletics clubs and activity groups, not just offered by our school, but local church groups, our rec center, and public library as well. We also really have a strong connection with our alumni groups, at and with the American Legion and Lions Club as well. Um, we rely a lot on them for donations, and help and support with our activities and clubs here at Winfield High School. Leadership at Winfield Public High School, like I mentioned, the school board, made up of 7 members. Our superintendent, and we also have an assistant superintendent as well. We have school administrators at each school. We have one pre-K school that just got started up 2 years ago, I believe. We have 4 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 1 high school. The middle school and high school are just one conjoint building. Some community partnerships that we rely on: the Winfield Rec Center, William Newton Hospital, Southwestern College, Cali College, and other local businesses. Um, these are included with leadership because uh, we rely heavily on them uh, to function, and it's just kind of a shared partnership. So, um, quote I found was, when all stakeholders work together, it allows for higher chance for student success. The economic conditions in Winfield, Kansas, it is described as a fringe rural community, which I thought was great, because on a map it definitely looks like a rural community, but we're located just not too far from the biggest city in the state of Kansas, about a 30-minute drive to South Wichita. We are a Title I school. Um, I did find that we have almost a 19% poverty rate, which is up over 13% since the start of COVID. So obviously, COVID took a big hit on our community. Our average income is around $48,000. Most jobs in our community um, include production or manufacturing. We have an industrial road where Rubbermaid, GE, Galaxy Tool are all on. Um, the average commute to jobs here in Winfield for parents and families is about 14 to 15 minutes. Um, Due to COVID, though, we did um, have a lot of increased funding, which mostly came from grants that we used for salary increases and technology, and to keep some of the small businesses in town functioning. Political structure here in Winfield, we have a city manager form of government, which includes also having 3 commissioners who were chosen during election, and one of them serves as a rotating mayor for each year. Um, Nationally, as far as politics, mostly conservative, but we do have more people vote Democrat than surrounding towns of similar size uh, in the state of Kansas. The Board of Education helps make a lot of the decisions um, with help from our administrators. We do have open Board of Education meetings for community members, teachers, or people to attend with any of their needs or things that they would like to be addressed. Um, the NEA, KNEA, and WNEA. WNEA is just our local union uh, rep that we can use for any um, things of concern to help us out. Social tensions here in Winfield, Kansas. One of the biggest one is just rising tax rates. We do have a higher tax rate than all of the towns that surround us, which I know causes some issues for people, specifically with our failed bond issue. We just recently had 2 bond issues that did not go through, and ultimately it came down to couldn't agree upon the tax rates to pay for the bonds. We do have some social cliques and discrimination um, here in Winfield, similar to many small towns. Um, I believe, though, it's not mostly the students, but more our older generation of people that live in Winfield. We do have some issues with our community and drugs. Most of that being the two local colleges that we have. A lot of those students are not from this town of Winfield, so there is some kind of social tensions between families in our town and the colleges, um, and also lack of support for updating school facilities. The younger generations of people, students in school, from what I've seen, they're willing to do what it takes to improve our facilities. Um, Obviously, it's not agreed upon between all parties. Some previous community efforts, our bond elections failed. There was a two-part bond that included making a super elementary school. It was around $60 million, and also another part to it, which was a facility upgrade worth about $8 million. This would help build a new sports complex at WHS. Some previous community efforts that were positive, um, new recreational facilities, which were helped funded by the rec center, the skate park and a dog park, um, and a walking trail that goes all around Winfield, overviews the river. It's a really great upgrade for our community. Our Broadway facilities house our softball and baseball complexes that are used by our high school and the colleges and our rec center. Um, and the same goes for the swimming pool and tennis courts, which all have received upgrades in the past. Our power structure, we rely on a pecking order. Um, Superintendent and superintendent ultimately have to make those big decisions um, with questions or concerns that are arose from the Board of Education, with the team of administrators, lead teachers, and then teachers, staff, parents, and students help complete that pecking order um, for structure here in Winfield. Multicultural issues. I believe we have a widely accepted community. There's many different cultures and identities, and we're very respectful of each other's differences. Many different groups and clubs in our school, such as GSA, Foreign Cultures Club, and Multicultural Club. We do not have any dress codes, but there has been a lot of changes to our handbook, specifically about the dress code. Just recently, we took a ban off hats in the building. Um, just trying to do whatever we can to help meet the needs of everyone in our entire school community. Some public opinions. Um, I would believe that schools are supported by families. I would say that they would for most part, say that schools need updated. But obviously, we talked about taxing being an issue for that. I believe that there should be more community forum groups. There were some offered during bond presentations, but that's really the extent of it. Um, Most people believe the bond issues were rushed, which is also a reason why they failed. A positive for um, things we have going on is I believe that people think we do have great community partnerships here in our community, and also could work on improving connections with our local colleges. Um, some of my slides that had the fewest bullet points were social tensions, uh, political structure, and I believe that's mostly from just me having lack of knowledge or lack of information. And some ways we could turn those weaknesses into strengths include just improving my research and maybe attending some more community events outside of my school so I can learn more to better help advocate for our students and schools in our entire community. Here's my standard correlation, relevant statement, and personal reflection, and my references that I used. Thank you for watching.